Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review YouTube channel for today's morning news show with myself, Paul, and of course, Billy Bob. We got news again to go through today, believe it or not, with Newcastle United, but that's just the way it goes. As you can see, we are donning our new strips. Absolutely fantastic fitting, loads of room in them, and it's pure quality, which totally outdoes the previous manufacturers of our kits. It is delightful. So yeah, really, really pleased with them. So if you're wondering about the fitting or anything like that, don't worry about the fitting at all. It is absolutely superb. It really is. The quality is, well, a million times better, as I say, than the old boys at Castor. Now, if you do enjoy the show today, as usual, guys, please do hit that thumbs up button. And if you are new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this incredible community on the Toon Review. And don't forget to hit the notification bell, which will let you know when we upload any videos or schedule the lives. You can become a member of the Toon Review by hitting the join button just underneath the two of us. The prizes do start on tonight's transfer show. So you need to be a member to win some goodies. And of course, you can donate to the channel via Super Chat by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments. And that will get your comment guaranteed to be read out on the show as well. Right, we're going to start, Billy, with obviously the breaking news this morning from Fabrizio Romano that a deal is now in place verbally with Lloyd Kelly. Obviously, there isn't any announcement from the club or anything like that yet. So again, you know... Do we worry about it? I don't think so. I think this one's going to go through as far as, you know, all the media reports are saying. But within the next few days, we should hear more from the football club itself. But we're going to touch on Lloyd Kelly a lot in the transfer show tonight. We're going to look at him a bit more. But a good signing, Billy?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's a very good player. The only thing wrong with him is his injury record. Hopefully, we can kind of get him right at Newcastle United because the lad's got pace and power. He can play on the left-hand side. He can play centre-back. Yeah, he's versatile as well. But it's his pace and his defensive ability that he's got. He's a fantastic squad player. And yeah, will he be starting every week? No, I don't think so. I think his rotation is going to be involved now in the defence.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important we do so. Horses for course, if you like. If we're playing against nippy strikers, I think Lloyd Kelly's probably a better fit than a Dan Burn would be.
Yeah. Alexander says, good morning, guys. Wanted to let everyone know I got the medical position. I'm just getting mine in today. I got the pro kit. Fantastic. I am going to reply to you, Alexander, because we are going to get Alexander on for a medical show. Basically, he's going to talk about what the injury situation was at Newcastle last season and sort of what the injuries are like to recover from, etc. So it should be a great show, that, actually. So I'm going to get back to Alex. And we're going to arrange a time, but obviously he is moving over here to a secret position somewhere, which he has not disclosed yet. But a lot of people asking about the size of the shirt. Now, normally, last season I had to go to a 5XL because the fitting on Castor was just a nightmare. I'm currently in a 4XL and it's baggy as hell. It's really, really baggy fitting in a 4XL. I probably could have actually gone down to a 3. It's really long as well. The length is perfect. So, you know, I mean, listen, Adidas or Adidas. If it doesn't fit you, go and take it back and they will replace it, obviously, for a different size. But try them on. You know, JD Sports have plenty in stock as well. Try the shirt on, see what you think. But I could have easily gone down to a 3XL, and I haven't said that since I was 6-year-old. So, incredible fitting. Absolutely brilliant.
Just size down from Castor and you'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah. I've got these are just the normal replica kits me and Billy have got in. The pros only went up to 2XL for some strange reason, but look, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. This is a pro fitting as far as I'm concerned, without a shadow of a doubt. Stuart says, morning all. Does everyone think that the signing of Kelly for Bournemouth? Personally, I do, as we need defenders. Well, look, it is a good signing because, look, we're trying to build a squad here, and the fact that we're not paying any money for him is a major factor in this. And because he's a free transfer, had we paid 15, 20, 25 million for him, I'd have been a little bit underwhelmed, I guess. But the fact is, he's free. And that is another body in the squad. Listen, Bournemouth. There was a Bournemouth fan channel did a lovely bit about Lloyd Kelly on their YouTube channel the other day. I'll try and find it and put the link in the description. But it was brilliantly done, and they were talking about Lloyd Kelly and what a fantastic player he is. So yes, the injuries are a concern, but we are getting a very, very good player here. Somebody that can certainly do a job. Eddie Howe certainly likes. So yeah, I'm not underwhelmed by the signing at all. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. Kev says, I think I'm the only person who prefers the design of last season's Castor. Don't banish me. Hey, it's all about opinions, mate, if you like it. But I listen, you can tell class when you try it on, and there's a huge difference here. Sean has heard that Fraser and Hayden are leaving, and Dubs has a lot of interest in Celtic. We will be coming on to those stories as well. Chip says Kelly will be perfect for a squad addition. It's like you say, Billy. He's not going to get, he's not going to be the first team starter, is he? But he's going to play a big part, and it enables Eddie Howe to, certainly for cups and things like that, he can rotate the squad, he can rest players, and still have that quality available. Well,
he's certainly a better fit for left back if Lewis Hall gets injured. That's for certain. There's one plus straight away than Dan Burn would be. And as I said earlier, against a quick striker who's not necessarily good in the air, but very quick, Kelly's probably a better fit than Dan Burn again. So there are times now he can play horses for courses, and that's something he's never had before. It's okay saying that he doesn't rotate, but when's he had a chance to? Very rarely. Because of the injuries.
Charlie, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Baz says, but does Eddie Howe know to rotate?
Just answered that.
Yeah. Ollie says, Gordon getting so much stick online saying he ain't good enough for the Euros. Look, on that Gordon side of things, right, it is pure jealousy from other pathetic fan bases. People banging on about Rashford, especially in the Man United side of things, right? Rashford has been garbage all season, and the Man United fans have actually said that throughout the season, and now he's not in the England squad. It's all hell breaks loose and all, I mean, they were putting pathetic comparisons to, Gordon when he had that chance against Iceland, cut in and sliced the ball over the bar, and Rashford scoring from a similar position. They didn't bother showing Gordon's fantastic goal against Manchester City when he did the same thing and actually curled it beautifully into the corner. So, look, as far as I'm concerned, stick it. Gordon's in the squad. Just let them cry. Let them cry, all right? Because at the end of the day, Anthony Gordon deserves to be there, right? And it's up to Gareth Southgate whether he plays him, of course. But the fact is, Gordon is in the squad, and nothing's going to change that. So let the rest of the fan base cry and have a go at Newcastle again, because it's what they've done all season. There's particularly Everton accounts and stuff like that always calling Newcastle out just because we're now a big, we're one of the big players now, and the jealousy and the saltiness is out there, and it's for everybody to see, Billy. There's so much saltiness towards our football club.
Well, Manchester United fans are absolutely gutted that there's the same amount of Newcastle United players in the England squad as there are Manchester United players. Yeah, they don't think that's on. That's wrong. Unlucky. It's going to get worse for you, believe me.
Ron says, so Kelly comes with an injury record. Great. We have such a good record looking after players like that. Wilson. Look, yes, he's got an injury record, right? But this is what I'm talking about. He's a freebie. Okay? He's a free transfer. Like I said at the beginning of the show, had we paid a lot of money for him, then I'd be a little more underwhelmed by it. But the fact is, Lloyd Kelly is free, and he's a very, very good player. You look at what the Bournemouth fans have had to say. They are raving about him. Now, can he stay fit? That is for us all to see, I guess. But we have to, we have to trust that the manager knows what he's doing, that the staff know what they're doing. But the fact that he's come in for free, that's what you need to take into consideration here. We haven't paid any money for him. So if it doesn't work out, we haven't lost anything.
No. And there aren't many pacey centre-backs around. I mean...
No, there's not.
Defence centre-halves, I could go back to Des Walker and people like that who are fantastic centre-halves, who had real pace. We haven't got many around these days. You see in the England side, John Stones isn't really quick. Harry Maguire certainly isn't. Mark Gahey really isn't either. So someone of pace, it gives you a different option so you can mark different types of player who are attacking you. I think it's a fantastic sign, I really do.
Yeah. Good morning, Kath, and thank you very much. Ruffiad Benissian says, Big Dan Byrne was large or extra large in the background video done on Adidas. Well, I'll believe that when I see it. I mean, there's no way he'll fit into a large. Come on. Come on. You two look ready to play for the Toon. Smart in your new tops. Well, you know, why not? Why not show them off? Kelly is Premiership proven as well, says Ethan. Exactly. He's Premiership proven and he's a free. I don't see why any fan should knock this transfer because we're not paying any money for him. It's not like we're losing out. It's a fact he's free. And we can't lose on this one. And he might turn out to be an absolutely brilliant signing. Simon says Kelly only didn't play last few games as he told the club months ago he was leaving. Yeah, he was left out because of that. Just watched that Bournemouth video about half an hour ago and agree it was brilliant. Yeah, they really take a deep dive, and we'll be doing that tonight on the transfer show as well. We'll be taking a big look at what he's going to offer the squad. Again, we're not announcing his signing yet because Newcastle haven't, but we can certainly take a look at what he will offer the squad and offer the team. So it should be a great show, that. Anthony says happy with the Kelly signing when it goes through. Yeah, absolutely. He's an upgrade on Byrne, let's be honest. Well, look, both players can do a job. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we need, players in there. Omar says, why are we not signing Champions players? Well, we're not in the Champions League.
They cost too much money for starters as well.
Absolutely. And there's a thing, Omar, called FFP, which is stopping us doing that, which is what Manchester City are fighting for in court right now. So let's just see what happens with the court case. But at the minute, we can't do that. We just can't. Might be able to move Target on with his 100k wages. I mean, he's a necessity to get out the club for me, Billy, because, I mean, no disrespect to him, but I can't see him being a part of the squad moving forward. And on those kind of wages, I think we need to ship him.
It's going to be easier said than done now because of those wages.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll have to take a big hit on him price-wise. He's getting on as well. Injury record hasn't been great since he came to us. Yeah, so if we can get him out the door for something like £5 to £10 million, then I'll be all for that and get that off the wage bill.
Yeah, absolutely. Lloyd Kelly on a free transfer could well be one of the most important transfers we make in this window, says Mark. Kev says that's exactly the sort of motivation Gordon needs. He loves proving a point. Exactly. And he'll just want to shut players, fans up when he goes across there. And hopefully we see him plenty for England. Ida Coffees has seen reports of Newcastle open to selling Miggy. Yes, but I think we all knew that because his agent has been coming out a lot of times, Billy, and saying, you know, he wants to stay, trying to put that message across to Newcastle United. But it looks to me like the club made a decision on Miggy quite a while ago, and they are open to selling him.
Yeah, I think that decision was made before the January transfer window, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah.
It's just like a limpet that you can't get off a rock or the unofficial turn at the moment. We just can't get rid of him, can we? He doesn't want to go, and he doesn't have to go if he doesn't want to because he's contracted. But as I said yesterday, a professional footballer worth of salt surely has to move for first-team football. He's not going to get that at Newcastle United next season, hopefully, with a new right winger coming in, hopefully, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Simon says the top 6 clubs should all be ashamed at the fact that Palace have 4 players in the England squad. Well, I mean, it's not really ashamed. I think Palace have done very well in 4 players. Guehi, you know, I'm still reserving judgment on him, to be honest. I think he's a very good Premier League defender. International-wise, I'm not sure. Obviously, Eze, I love Eze. He's a very talented player, and I think they should be proud of what they've done at Crystal Palace. So I'm not going to say that the other club should be ashamed. I think, you know, well done, Palace. Let's be happy that, you know, that it's not just all, you know, top league, top team based. You know, that they are looking further down the ladder at very talented players.
I don't think that they'd be in that squad if it wasn't for the new manager, though. Glasner. I think he's brought them on a different level.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Henderson should be in the squad, if I'm perfectly honest. Is it Henderson that's in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
The goalkeeper. Gay here, again, I'm with you on him. Wharton and Eze, they were fantastic players. And it looks like Eze's on his way somewhere else in the summer, as Elise is as well, the look of it. So they're going to have to rebuild again in the summer. So it's going to be an important season for Palace next year, a hard one as well.
Which I think the Palace fans will probably be looking forward to. You know, Dougie Freedman has proved that he can bring in the players, and this new manager has proved he can get he can get a tune out of them. So Palace may be a team to watch next season, certainly with the way they finished the season.
It's very much like a Brighton model, isn't it? But on a slightly less kind of scale.
Absolutely. Dorch Mag says Kelly is a massive upgrade on Dummett. For a squad player, that is the only criteria that matters. I agree with that. He is an upgrade on Dummett. To be honest, I've never really given Kelly any attention, so can't judge him, but a lot of fans seem to think highly of him. Yeah, let's just wait. Let's just give him the opportunity to he's free, guys. We're not losing anything on him. Aussie Mag, thank you for your super chat. Would sell Miggy for a packet of chips. And if push comes to shove, I would be happy for the buying club to keep the chips. Yeah, I think a lot of fans are done now. I mean, Paul Gallant yesterday, I could have throttled him when I heard what he said.
15 goals a season.
Yeah, talking about Miggy's 15 goals. He's a goal scorer. Paul, I'd suggest you check your stats, mate, because really? No. Certainly not in the last. He was terrible last season, wasn't he? He was absolutely terrible.
He couldn't finish a fun-size Milky Way, could he, last season?
Shamrock Ball says, I'm sorry, lads, but that new jersey is absolutely horrible. I don't like it at all. Well, you're one of the few, mate. Look, when I first saw it, I have to admit I was a little bit meh. However, it's grown on me. I think it's very nice design, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what away strips we come out with as well. Because if the away tops are like any of the renders that we've seen, my wallet will be emptied again. Knowing the fitting of these shirts is absolutely incredible. I can't wait, and I would imagine that the away tops will be announced pretty soon, Billy. They'll not leave it too long, I would have thought. Yeah,
beginning of July, I've heard.
Yeah,
I've seen.
Well, hopefully
that claret and blue hoop. Like I say, claret's not claret, is it as such? But you know, the old Ginola type top with the cream shorts. That looks like that's coming back into vogue.
And the third one as well. If that's the third one, the white one with the green, looks really nice as well with the old badge on it. Hopefully, we will see them, and I can get them ordered before I leave on my holidays on the 13th of July. Please, Adidas, release them at the start of the month. If Kelly is managed correctly, says Patrick, could see an England call-up due to defensive injuries and the adaptability for left back. Well, we're struggling left back, but that's down to the manager, to be honest. There is left backs out there, but there you go. There's nothing better than free, says Alex. Despite the injury issue with Kelly, he's not going to be in the starting 11. Squad depth is important as much as the starters. Ollie says, look how we have transformed ourselves in a season. Kelly is younger. He will become a beast. I mean, that's a good thing. You know, you've got to think of the development as well, not just where he's at now. Yes, he's not a kid anymore, as Lloyd Kelly, but he can still improve, Billy.
100%. Of course he can. Centre half doesn't reach the peak till 27, 28. He's 24, 25 years of age at the minute. And as I say, that pace, it's just a case now of getting him fit, keeping him fit, and he'll be a massive asset to the squad.
We were, of course, Sesko has signed a new contract extension with Leipzig. So he should be top list for next summer. Well, let's just see. I don't think Leipzig are keen to let him go, judging by the amount of money they're going to be paying him. So interesting. Kev says, I'd say they'll 100% be a big money signing in July or August. Just a couple of squad filters like Kelly, the rest is fine. We spoke about this in the transfer shows that we do tend to... make a big signing in the summer. We do tend to, bring that big marquee signing in. Now, I think we'll actually bring 2 marquee signings in this summer. I genuinely believe that. And then just, improve the squad with quality elsewhere. But, we're linked with all sorts of players. We know that. We just have to have faith in what, the management are doing.
You'll see more movement after July the 1st when the new year starts, financial year for the football team. So, I think July, August, hopefully beginning of July, so you can get them bedded in pre-season. That would be really signing players in August.
Well, officially the window opens on Friday, doesn't it? The day that the Euros kick off.
It does.
Whether there be a lot of, I think the majority of the major players who are in the European Championships, maybe you'll not see a lot of movement on that side of things. But the clubs. for themselves. Once the European Championship finishes, it's pretty much straight into pre-season again, guys. So,
and Copa America, of course, that's going on at the same time. So
absolutely. So teams will want to improve their squads even when these tournaments are going on. And look, we've seen in the past that players that are away on international duty, many teams send representatives to the training camps to get deals done. So, it's going to be a busy time. But so far, nothing has been bid on Bruno's contract. That £100 million has not been offered yet. Jakesy says, I'll always have respect for Target for his loan spell where he kept us up. One of the worst signings we've made, though, always injured without playing. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. He really did. And I'm not having to go at him personally. I just think players like Target, etc. now, we need to be aiming higher, I think. Matt Target had a real good time when he was on loan, but it hasn't worked for him, despite Eddie being a big fan of him.
Just been cropped, hasn't he, permanently, virtually?
Yeah, he has.
It's a shame for him, but if we could just left it there with that loan deal, it'd have been the perfect kind of 3 months for us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it just didn't happen, did it? But look, things like that happen. And he's had a rotten run of injuries, which has been very, very unfortunate for him. Absolutely. Alessandro says, I'd sell Miggy in a heartbeat, even though I love the kid. Much rather have a guy like Chiesa on the wing or up front. Gruffy says, we just need to exploit the Saudi market to move players like Target on. Target to Southampton is a real option. I think he means Target. He's from the area, Premier League experience, loan with obligation to buy.
Well, he started there, didn't he? He
did. Yeah, but it looks like one player that is heading down there is Ryan Fraser, Billy, because it looks like he's moving on a free.
Good riddance, and hope it is awfully for Southampton, but just get him out the door, get the wages off the bill, because he's been, quite frankly, appalling for most of the time he's been with us. His attitude ain't been right. His attitude, that day he got sent off at Sheffield United deliberately. After that, I was never a fan of his. Did some good stuff for us, but not nearly enough.
You know what it is, though, Billy? When he first came to the club, I was quite excited because I'd seen him at Bournemouth, and he looked like a tremendous little winger who would put great crosses in the box. And to be fair, we saw that a few times. I remember him at Brentford a couple of seasons ago, put a beautiful ball in for Joe Linton. And he was capable of that. And I remember, Steve Bruce kept him on the bench for a while, and I think it was a Carabao Cup game, which we lost on penalties in the end, I think. It was a terrible game of football. Burnley, it might have been, yeah. And Fraser came on in that game and looked really lively. The rest of the team didn't. But then he just, listen, he's clearly had an attitude problem at Newcastle as well. Fell out with Eddie Howe twice now. And I think there was no doubt in my mind that Fraser would be leaving this summer, but obviously Southampton seems like a very good fit for him. And I don't think any Newcastle fan will be gutted that he's gone, to be fair. I think it's au revoir and get on with your career. But thank you for causing all the trouble you did at Newcastle. Gentle reminder to everyone, please, with new subs coming in, please use usernames that goes for mods as well as anyone else in the chat, respectfully. Adam says, I see Sesko is going to sign a new deal. Yeah. Hope Arsenal don't come in for Isak. They can't afford him, mate. There's no way Arsenal can afford Alexander Isak. Not a chance. By the way, did you see that goal he scored for Sweden, Billy? And
outstanding, wasn't it?
This is what I mean about him cutting in from the left. This is what I saw a lot of Isak do when he was in Sociedad, was cut in from the left and bend that ball. He's a tremendous finisher when he's cutting in like that. Brilliant to watch.
Yeah, outstanding goal. It was a world-class goal, wasn't it? And that's 2-2 because he scored against the Danes, didn't he, as well? So yeah, he's on form. He's on form. Hopefully he can go away, have a nice holiday and come back in the same kind of form.
Yeah. John says Premier League stopped Newcastle selling to Saudi with their new rule, but City got them in court to get it thrown out. Well, we'll see what happens.
The Premier League didn't stop Newcastle from selling to Saudi.
The Premier League teams did.
Well, yeah, it got voted out, didn't it?
Well, of course it did, because the teams didn't want it to happen. Yeah. It was obvious. Craig Wright says Sesko re-sign has a gentleman's agreement to be able to leave at a later date. Well, I guess he's just got to keep performing for Leipzig then. And there you go. Roger says, I agree, Paul. 2 marquee signings. Firstly, to vastly improve our squad to next level. Secondly, to show we're not messing about. Looney says, you just have to trust the club, know what they're doing. They know more than us when it comes to player signings. They haven't really let us down yet. Absolutely not. They haven't. I mean, has there been one signing since the takeover that hasn't worked? I mean, you know, Matt Targett worked because when he came in on loan, he kept us up. That's the side of things that worked. It hasn't gone well for him with injuries since. But is the one signing we can look at and say that was pathetic? I mean,
certainly not. Yeah, Chris Wood maybe, but I'm thinking more of Harrison Aspie perhaps. But he's still got Tom's come back, and then you got Garen Kuol as well, who didn't cost hardly anything anyway. So not really. No, I don't think so.
But we haven't had a disaster, have we? I mean, you know, Chris Wood, to be fair, played his part a little bit as well, although he was pretty awful. But look,
we got most of our money back anyway, didn't we? So
yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we need to look at, the fact that we didn't lose a lot of money on him. Lawrence says, I think Stato will be having a party when Fraser to Southampton's done. Absolutely. He's probably having a drink already. I, for one, was critical when we brought in Gordon, says Tom, so I will be holding judgment on Kelly until he has actually played. Well done. I think we all need to do that now as Newcastle United fans. Now, look, Dubravka. I mean, this is a goalkeeper that we say his name now, and it seems to be met with a lot of anger in the Newcastle fan base, just wanting him gone. Now, Celtic are the latest club this morning, Billy, to be linked with him, and I don't think that would be a particularly bad move for Dubravka.
No, certainly not. I mean, Joe Hart's retired now, so they need a goalkeeper, and it's definitely a good move for him. He hasn't got to move too far. It's Champions League football for him as well. I think it's a fantastic move for both clubs, Newcastle and Celtic. Especially if they can bump a few couple of million to sign him.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's a great goalkeeper by any shadow of the imagination. I think that kind of seals Rangers' win next year in the Scottish Premier League.
Well, I mean, Aussie Mag's saying there, surely Celtic can do better than Dubs, but it depends how much money they've got available. And look, Dubravka, he's still an international goalkeeper, and it doesn't really matter what we think of him. The bottom line is, if Celtic want him, then let him go. A couple of people saying Tonali was a disaster. You can't really say Tonali was a disaster. Yes, last season it was disastrous because we lost him to suspension, but the signing itself is not a disaster. We hopefully he's going to star for us next season. Fingers crossed. So I'm not particularly worried and think that is a bad signing, but maybe we should have done our homework a little bit better. But look, Tonali is almost done with his suspension now, and he can look forward to playing for us, which I think he's going to be a very, 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 very much improved player than what we saw in his few games that he played for us early last season, because the pressure's off him now.
I think Tonali is going to be the big thing next season, because he's going to be chomping at the bit to get back onto that pitch and prove to the Newcastle fans, who, let's be honest, have really, really supported him, as the club have during his suspension. I think he's going to be really chomping at the bit, and I think we'll see what a world-class player he is next season. I really do.
Yeah. There's a few people in the chat saying about Greenwood coming to Newcastle. Look, I'm sorry, right? But I will stand by what I said about this Mason Greenwood, okay? No, he wasn't guilty in a court of law, all right? But we all know what happened with that case. We all know what happened. And we I'm not going to say it now, but it was obvious. And everybody saw the pictures, everybody heard the recordings. And you want a guy like that at our football club? Because I'm sorry, and Newcastle haven't been linked with him at all, because I don't believe Newcastle would bring a player like Greenwood to the club, right? Man United wanted him out because they know for a fact the baggage that comes with him. I'm not bothered what he's done since or anything like that. I do not want Mason Greenwood at Newcastle United. I think it will be a disrespect to all our female supporters as well for what happened with him. We know that happened, all right? We saw it, we heard it, right? End of story. But
if he's persona non grata for a club with the lowest moles in the Premier League as Manchester United are, then why would it be anywhere near Newcastle United's wavelength? Not at all. We've all seen the pictures. We all heard the recordings. That's all we need to know.
And quite frankly, I'd be disgusted if we were even linked with him, because he's made a rod for his own back with all that stuff. massive baggage. Not a chance do I want Mason Greenwood at Newcastle. I would be disgusted. And I don't care whether he wasn't guilty in a court of law. We all know what went on. We are not stupid people. And a guy like Mason Greenwood is not wanted anywhere near, as far as I'm concerned as a football fan, to Newcastle United. No bloody chance. If he can go elsewhere, get on with it, but not to Newcastle. No way. I've got daughters, and I'm seeing that, other people are saying they've got daughters in the chat as well. As a father to daughters, would I want a man like him anywhere near my girls? Not a chance. Not a chance. And if he did something like that to my girl, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now, because I'd be doing time. Guys like that, I'm sorry, who think they're strong enough to do that to a woman, not a chance. Not a chance in hell. Nah. So anyway, that's as much as we're going to say on him. But anyway, Dubravka, I mean, there is other teams, Billy. I mean, apparently Saudi are interested in him, and there's a couple of European teams interested in him. But I think it's a big European Championships this for Dubravka, because he's in the shop window now.
Of course he is. But the Celtic move gets him Champions League football next season. And that's a massive thing for Martin Dubravka. He didn't get any last season, so he sat on the bench watching Nick Pope do it. So, yeah, I think it's a good move for him. I don't think it's a good move for Celtic personally, but I don't really care. Saudi may give us more money for him, but I just can't see him travelling to Saudi. I don't see that happening. Maybe a European club. But as long as we get a couple of million for him, happy days.
Gospel British asks, what about redemption? I'm sorry, but if a man does that to a woman, you do not deserve redemption, right? It's the same as a few other crimes in this world that you cannot have redemption from. And doing that to a woman, I'm sorry, is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Whether you're found guilty in a court of law or not, no chance.
Well, he didn't go to court. That's the worst part of it. He didn't.
It didn't get there, exactly.
It should have. Law because either he paid her off or he.
We know
she
that.
She went back to him, didn't she?
Of course she did, yeah. But not a chance. Redemption. Give over. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You do not deserve redemption for putting your hands on a woman like that. Not a chance. Anyway, John says, hi, lads. Will fans be happy with Inter Milan striker Martinez?
Lautaro? Yeah, great player.
Yeah, I think, well, he's not linked, is he? But
no, he's not.
Listen, there is some great players out there who I would love to see play for Newcastle United. There is no doubt in my eyes that there is some real talent across the world. But as much as we hate it right now, guys, as we speak, we are not in a position to bring in these world-class players because we can't afford them. The FFP is strangling us, and that will continue to happen. Which is, I mean, Chip has just said there, he signed a new deal with Milan anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I understand what you mean about that kind of quality of player. But again, we have to wait and see what happens. What happens with this court case, Billy?
Yeah, Man City are pallbearers for what we can do, aren't we, in the future? And fair play to them for doing it. I don't see how they lose. I just don't. I've said it all along about these 115 charges. I think they were trumped up at the time, and Manchester City fans and the club themselves feel confident they'd win a court case. Hence why they're going to court. I mean, someone with that amount of money to spend on a court case with the facts that they've got at their disposal, it's got to be. They wouldn't be doing it if they didn't think they were innocent of it. Absolutely not.
I'm just reading a quick report there about Miggy Almiron, Billy, and it seems like the majority of the interest is indeed coming from Saudi. Now, Miggy, I mean, we've had this discussion about Miggy's religion and stuff like this before. Would he go to Saudi? And the fact of the matter is, I think a player now, a 30-year-old, has a chance of going to get a huge payday in Saudi. I think he'd go, judging by the amount of players that are already there.
Yeah, if he went to the same place as Maxi, for instance, that would be probably good for him. Or if he went to a club that had lots of Spanish speakers there, it's only a couple of years. He can get tax-free money out of it. It's an ideal move for him if he fancies doing it. But it just seems like he doesn't want to go anywhere from Newcastle United. That's the kind of thing for me. He seems happy and settled, and even if he's not playing football, it doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah. Right, a good point this by Jonathan saying that, hi lads, what do you make of Ben Jacobs saying we only have 50 to 60 million to spend? Don't listen to the journalists telling you how much we've got to spend, because they haven't a Scooby-Doo, right? Nobody knows how much Newcastle United have to spend apart from the people that matter, the owners, right? They know how much we have to spend. They know what the FFP situation is. And, you know, Luke Edwards made a complete fool of himself last season, remember, when he said, he said 30 million or something to spend. And then we went and spent so much more than that. Don't listen to them. Just wait and see what happens with Newcastle United themselves and who they go out to try and sign. Because if you're listening to a journalist say, oh, we've only got this, then, you know, you're crazy. Because there's no way Ben Jacobs knows how much we've got to spend. He can, maybe he's maybe making a summarization and just saying, oh, you know, they may have 50 to 60 to spend. But nobody knows. We could go out and spend 80 million on a player. We don't know what we don't understand the incomes as well, Billy.
Well, Ben Jacobs was adamant that the takeover would never happen. That's how much he knows.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's been on a few Newcastle channels, Ben Jacobs, and quite frankly, he likes the sound of his own voice. Let's be honest. And putting out there about how much we've got to spend is really risky, in my opinion, because you can be made to look an absolute fool, especially if we do go out and spend more than that. You know, he doesn't know who we're going to sell in the summer. He doesn't know what revenue we've generated through Adidas, the Champions League, Seller, Noon, all these sponsors that have come on board now with our new owners. Nobody knows how much we've got to spend. So apart from obviously the club. We'll see. Spike says the club knows how much, so don't listen to the reporters. Ben Jacobs hates Saudi Arabia. Well, yes, he does. He said that before. He was right about Maddison not coming to Newcastle, though.
I know for a fact that James Maddison wanted to come to Newcastle United.
Yeah. Yep.
Fact
it is. Simon says, remember, we are into the fourth season cycle, so those players we bought in takeover season, accounts will drop off, so we will have quite a good amount to spend, and revenue is nearly doubled since the takeover. Well, I would say it's probably quadrupled since the takeover, Simon, but you're right, exactly. There's a lot more coming in now than what we did have. Clone Lad says, Newcastle have Champions League, Adidas, Seller cash to come in along with other sponsorship deals. Surely there is cash in the pot. Keith says, afternoon, Paul and Billy, and all in chat. Sorry, I'm on catch up. Thanks for the show. No problem at all, Keith. Kev says, I can't believe that anyone outside of the NUFC board knows what we can spend. Maybe even Eddie is not privy to the amount. Well, Eddie's probably not bothered. Eddie's probably discussing players with the Newcastle hierarchy, but he won't be discussing saying, oh, how much have we got to spend? He'll probably have a listed players' names that maybe, spiking his interest. But I think, Billy, the one thing that we need to sort out is a director of football and get that in through the door.
Yeah, it's got very quiet on that, hasn't it? Really quiet. It
has, yeah.
Maybe it's the fact they're not happy with I can't remember what the bloke's name was. What was his name? The German fella. I can't remember what his name was. Spores.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not happy with him. Maybe they're looking for someone else now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just got really quiet. So I don't know how many directors of football there are in the world, but they're not happy with the ones that have approached us so far, I don't think, by the sound of it.
Yeah. Well, it's all interesting, isn't it? I mean, look, there's going to be news happening all the time with Newcastle United. I will still be doing recorded news segments as well, guys. So if anything sort of breaks this afternoon, I'll do a quick news show. But that is the news for this morning, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I say, we are back at 7 p.m. tonight with a transfer show and the latest news. It's basically we put it together now as a transfer show and latest news. So tune in for that. We are going to pay particularly attention to Lloyd Kelly, although he hasn't signed just yet. All indications are that he is going to within the next few days, which is good news for Newcastle, considering he's coming in on a free transfer as well. But thank you for your Super Chats memberships. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Billy. And thank you to you guys. Well over nearly 900 tuning in this morning. Incredible. So these new shows, well, you guys wanted them back as live shows in the morning, and you've responded in kind. So thank you very, very much for tuning in. We will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. But in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, guys.
One step, Paul. Someone's asking how I know for facts how James Maddison wanted to sign for us.
Yeah, we're not in the know. However, Billy's good mates with his dad, so that's why we know he was keen. And I think Billy, you did mention a long time ago, before he was even linked heavily with Newcastle, that there was a chance that Maddison, under the new ownership, would want to sign because you'd spoke to his dad. So that's how Billy knows. You know, Billy doesn't sit there and say that he knows everything. He's friends with Maddison's dad. That is how he knew that. But obviously, it didn't work out for whatever reason. Oh, hang on. Kath says, just seen Kelly's arrived. Oh.
Is it?
Oh. Well, let me just refresh here. Newcastle. Well, I'm still just seeing the agreed in principle to sign. I think. Yeah, I think that's what Kath means. But hey, he'll be there soon, Kath. Don't you worry. He'll be hopefully parading a Newcastle shirt and scarf very, very soon. But listen, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see you all back at 7 o'clock. Don't forget, please give it the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on a rerun as well, please give it the thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel and you like what you see. We will keep these news shows going live. There will be recordings, and of course our evening shows will continue as well. But enjoy your Tuesday, guys. In the meantime, take care.
How are the lads and lasses?
Come back and check out